Alright, so for this video, I actually already pre-drew a few of the things we're going to be addressing in this video. Ignore this chart over here, we'll be talking about this in a second. We're going to be talking about something in this video called the mean value theorem, or the MVT. The definition of this is, if f of x is differentiable on the interval a, b, which right here it is, then there exists a number c, or a point c, in which that it basically equals this right here. I can't read this out loud or else this won't make any sense to you. So it's that thing right there. F prime of C equals FB minus FA over B minus A. So what does this mean? This basically is saying, and if I drew it in a picture, it makes so much more sense to you, that there exists a point in between here that if you took the actual slope between these 2 points, it would be, the tangent line would be parallel to this. So it'd be somewhere right about here. And therefore this is the C in the case. So basically what this is saying is that if it's differentiable between A and B, then there exists a C where the tangent slope of C is equal to the actual slope between A and B. So this is important because you can use this to basically answer some questions that are going to be thrown at you about graphs. This whole chapter is basically about, they can ask you tons of random questions about what the derivative is going to look like, if something's going to happen, and you have to be able to answer it. So right here we have this chart. I don't know how well you can see that, but basically this chart is representing an object moving up and down in the sky. This right here is the time, 0, 5, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 20 seconds, 25 seconds, and this is the height at those different times. So the first question I'm going to ask is, explain why must the object have a maximum among this? And we're not going to go by the last video and just say because it's a closed interval, because this isn't even an interval. You can't assume that. So why is there a maximum height? Why do you know there has to be? And the answer is simple. Because, well, it goes up, and then it goes down. It goes up, then goes down. But another way you can do this is to think, well, if the average velocity, or what like the actual slope would be, between this 5 point and this 25 point, they're both the same thing. And for that reason, the line would look like something like this, where it would be like this. So in this case, this would be the A, and this would be the B. So there exists some point between A and B that has a slope of 0, just the same. Well, we already discussed that if the derivative has a slope of 0, then there has to be a maximum or a minimum. And because we know that the slope has to be going up here and down here, we know that this is a maximum. So yes, there must be a maximum value in between because of the mean value theorem, because it has to be parallel to the actual slope between the 2 points. Then the one more question I'm going to ask, I believe I'm only going to ask one more question. Yes, is that will the object ever travel with a velocity of 1.2 feet per second? So basically, I could actually like draw a graph of this, but now we're trying to get away from the graph and just do the algebra. Will there ever be a point on here where the velocity, or the tangent slope, will be 1.2? And the answer is yes. You have to just look kind of closely. If you look at the 10 seconds one and the 0 seconds one, and do the slope between those two, it'd be 14 minus 2 all over 10 minus 0. You get 12 over 10, which equals, well, look at that, 1.2. So because the slope between these 2 points, 0, 2, and 10, 14, is 1.2, there must exist some point in between this interval where the velocity is 1.2. So there must be a time between 0 and 10 when the velocity is 1.2. You could then do algebra by doing some of the stuff we did earlier this unit and figure out, well, if you had the line, which we don't, unfortunately, there could be tons of different information between here, so we can't make a line from this. But if they gave us the line, then we could take the derivative of the line, equal it to 1.2, and then we could find where the velocity would be 1.2. But that is not something we're going to cover in this video. So that's what the mean value theorem is.